Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning the mind. And for the past 10 years, I've been teaching people all around the world about how the mind works. But just before that, I was actually trying to convince people in my country concerning how the mind works. And they say, he's stupid, he crazy, he lost his mind, he do not believe in God, he do not believe in Jesus. Yet, there is a Bible that carries my name. For I've been teaching people to understand the Bible from a psychological standpoint, from a metaphysical standpoint, from an esoteric standpoint. And when some people do not understand my conversation, they ask if I belong to some secret brotherhood or some secret society. But the truth of the matter is that I would have discovered that my real identity is my divinity, and that everything is based on energy, vibration, and frequency. Therefore, I rearrange your mind to focus your energy inwardly and teach you how to work from inside out, not outside in. In other words, I teach you how to put the horse, which is the power, before the cat, and not the cat before the horse. Okay? So, for the past 10 years, I've worked with people all around the world. I've done one-on-one coaching with people. I've mentored people. I've sold many of my books. As a matter of fact, you have about 10 or more books to choose from, including my gratitude journals and so on. And so I was able to touch the lives of many people all around the world. Yet, people in my country remain in their mental delusion of looking on the outside for someone to save them, when the saving and redeeming power is right within themselves. But because of the way how they were raised and their belief system and colonization, and how their subconscious mind was impressed from a very young age through certain institutions that already been set up to infiltrate your subconscious mind from a very young age. From the time you come from your mother's womb to the age of 7 or 8, you could be easily programmed. And so what belief system you've been programmed with is very hard to break out of it. But if you're listening to me and you find yourself to be an open-minded person, you find yourself to be a person who's willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind, you definitely can reach out to me, because I'm here to help you. For example, when it comes to my profession as a mindset coach, you'll never hear anyone in my country ever speak about being a mindset coach. Okay, the ambition is to probably work in the bank, be a pastor, be a politician, be a teacher, be a nurse, be a doctor, and so on. And nothing is wrong with that. Because, you see, that is what we were taught. We were never taught that there are people who born into this world who would discover that they are mystics. And they were sitting from a mystical standpoint. Okay, so that is why when you try to teach people the Bible from a mystical standpoint, they think that you're stupid and you're crazy. But if we should just think a little bit deeper and be very simple, the Bible tells you in Romans 12 that if you want to transform your life, there's only one way you can transform your life. He never said to go to church. He never said to join a religious organization. It tells you that right there in Romans 12 that the entire book, as I've always been teaching people all around the world, it's actually a book of mind science. So he says, You can only be transformed by the renewing of your mind. But you will be conformed if you never renew your mind. If you go along with everything you meet here, you never question anything, and you never put anything to work to get the knowing, because intellectual knowing is not true knowing. Real knowing is experiential. You have to have the experience. And so, my brother and my sisters, when it comes to me being a mindset coach, it is things that I will give you to do. And when you get the result, then that needs no argument. My thing doesn't base on belief. Belief alone doesn't help you. It takes action. For example, millions of people around the world, they believe in the law of attraction, and they fail to realize that it is saying action in the word law of attraction. And they look at nature and they see the law of sowing and reaping, and fail to realize that's the law of attraction right there in motion. And religious people turn around and call it evil, call it of the devil, and say that it is demonic. Yet, they'll never say that money is demonic. They'll say everything else is demonic. Okay? And fail to realize that everything on the outside is a replica of what is taking place within. There's a lot of things I could speak about. I could speak about the digital ID, the traveling between our countries now, and so on. I could speak about all of these different things and go in a very deep way and show you these things have always been here. Show you all these things are a replica of your mind. You could travel to go to any country. You understand? If you understand Joshua 1 and 3. Anyway, this solar official chat. If you really understand the power of your consciousness, your awareness, in other words, your imagination, which is greater than knowledge, if you really understand it and you understand how to use it, and you read a book concerning a man and you fail to realize that the man was a master magician, and they teach you to talk about the man, but never teach you what the man taught. And let me give you an example of that. I'm speaking about the main character in the Bible, okay? And I'm going to give you an example of that. There's a man, an Indian man, who was an Indian guru by the name of Osho. I have a massive book from him called the Book of Secrets, okay? And if you go on Netflix, you get the documentary. I think it's called Wild Wild Country. You see where they're talking about the man, the messenger, but they never tell you the message the man taught. And if you listen to what the man would have taught, you would realize why he even claimed to say that the Reagan government would have poisoned him. Okay? So, my brother, my sister, the same thing has been happening over and over and over. There's nothing new under the sun. So, when someone like myself rise up in a colony like this to teach you the power of your psyche and how to use it wisely for the upliftment and advancement of all of humanity. Of course, people are going to call me crazy, stupid, and they're going to say, blasphemy. So, to cut a long story short, okay, there's a lot of things that I can go into, but the main thing I want to help you with is to rearrange your mind. That's what I really want to teach you. You see, the rich man, the poor man, the beggar man, the thief is one mind. Yeah. But the difference is that there's different arrangement of that same mind. That's why you're getting different results. For example, I was able to build this kind of muscle, okay? And I already passed the half-century age. Never use steroids or any of those kind of stuff, okay? Any enhancing drug or anything like that, right? Because of what I put in my body. You see, Hippocrates teach that your food must be your medicine and your medicine must be your food. Okay? And based on what you put in your body, it would mean what kind of health and vitality you will display. Well, it's the same thing with the mind. Okay. And I would have used my mind to live a very decent life and a well fulfilled life. And there's a young man in my country who one time I saw he had the word alchemy on his social media platform, and I know him real good. I know his father, everybody. So I said to him, I met him crossed by Massey, and I said to him, I see you have on your social media alchemy. What you know about alchemy? You know not one thing about alchemy. He said, yeah, I know about alchemy. I said, Nana. I said, define alchemy for me. He defined an alchemist. I said, that's an alchemist you talking about, man. That's not alchemy. Okay, I say, one of these days, when I'm around in the area, I'll teach you about alchemy. But to cut a long story short, he ended up and he leave his job in the ministry. And I know he was going through an awakening at the time. And so even his family thought he was crazy, he was losing his mind. And then I, the only one, was telling him, well, he have made the right decision and so on. And, you know, if he would believe the things I would say to him, he would prove for himself. And so based on what he was saying to me, I know he was listening to certain people. So I said to him, who do you listen to? So the apostles he was listening to, they were all white men. So I say, okay, these guys, they take what I'm going to teach you from the Bible and they put it in self-help, self-development, and these different, forms of presenting it to the world. So you could listen to them, they're speaking English like you and everything, and you're going to hear them, and you're going to get motivated and so on. But if you never really understand the science that they're working with, and you never understand your upbringing in terms of your beliefs that was taught to you and so on, you'll never really be able to unfold it. Okay. And so even his parents thought that I was leading him astray and I am of the devil and all of that. Okay. Because they go to church and so on. And it's like what I was teaching him was walking. It was like he walking on their theology. Okay. And so to cut the long story short, right now, the man is doing so good in this country. Sometimes the man could pull in $10,000 in a day. Okay, I'm not going to disclose what he does and so on. What he does is very legal. Okay, 100% and so on, okay? And even the parents now want to be a part of the business and so on. Okay, so I'm saying all of that to say, and I could give you plenty examples of people who you do not know about who's outside of this country. I'm just giving you, example of a person in this country, and there are more people too, okay? But there are very few, maybe a handful of people in this country who would ever listen to me and believe what I'm saying. Okay. But I'm saying all of that to show you that results don't argue. Results don't need no argument. Results don't need no discussion. Okay. And so if you're listening to me and you would like to rearrange your mind to get a different result in life, like for example, the very Bible, which is a book of mind science, which is actually a magic book, and you are actually a magician, and actually your word is your wand. Okay, your word is your wand is a book, Okay, you have to check out Scoville Shin. Okay, yeah, even your invisible power, you check that out. Genevieve Brehen, As a Man Thinketh, James Allen. You can read Plato Allegory of the Cave. Yeah, read Claude Bristol, The Magic of Believing. You understand? You read The Magic of Thinking Big. You understand? You read The Kybalion. And all of these books I'm quoting here, when I start to teach my wisdom on the internet, people start to reach out and say, bro, I know you read this book. I know you read that book. And when they name the book, I buy the book. I say, okay. The Kybalion, blah, 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 blah. That I speak a universal laws, all these things before. You understand? So, my brother, my sister, there's a lot of things I can go into. Okay. But I want to say to you, if what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you, if you have a deep in you, okay, and the deep call it to the deep, and that deep is responding to what I'm saying, okay, and you're crazy and stupid like me, we can work together. Can't we work together, let's agree. So you'll be stupid and crazy like me, if we live in Vinci, okay? So My brother, my sisters, I want to say to you, you know, if you haven't subscribed already, I'll definitely encourage you to subscribe, to like, comment, share this video. Also, if you like for me to coach you, reach out to me. I'll be willing to mentor you. Okay. Also, if you like to become a part of my university, you can become a part of my university. Okay. I have a university. Okay. Online. And I have my books. You can get my books. Also, if you want to be a part of my Patreon community, I have a Patreon community. Okay, and I teach, there's a lot of videos I have there, okay? I refer to it as a course there. There's a number of videos and the inner sun science and technology to create your reality consciously. And that's why I'm teaching that the sun that shines in the sky I'm speaking about, it parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. You see, without the sun, there's no life and there's no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And you're told in Psalms 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun, S-U-N, and a shield, and no good thing with you withhold from you. So I want to teach you how to understand that inner sun science and how to work that science. It's a science of alchemy. Okay? So whatsoever is your desire, if you're willing to invest in yourself, you can definitely reach out to me. Okay? And we can work together. And whatever result you get in your life, one thing I say to you, see to it, you tell no man. That's the Bible, eh? I'm quoting it. See to it, you tell no man. It's not me, by faith. Okay, so even those who have a belief in an entity and the outside and think some man is coming to save them, even the man say, shh, keep it a secret. Okay, go into your closet. Okay, man, if I stay, I'll be talking too much. Okay, because I saw a woman go in her closet in her house, take out all the clothes and go inside in a movie from what, Tibet. I call it wow, roop. See, she get fight, wow, just spiritual and a prayer warrior. But you see, Matthew 6:6, that's how I pray. You know, I go to the secret place. The Father who's in secret, the Father in me is my creative, innovative power that I could use to achieve my every desire. I've done it over and over and over many times. I wanted to furnish an apartment without no money. I did it. I would walk into Coates store in Kingston, and the rest is history. So, my brother, listen, I want to thank you very much, for listening to me. And I'm awaiting, okay, you're reaching out to me, and then afterwards, I'll be awaiting your testimony if you agree to work with me to be your mindset coach and to teach you how to rearrange your mind to get a different result in your life. The book of Mind Science, the Bible, it says, let the poor say, I am rich. Well, it's telling you to tell lies. I'll teach you how that works. Okay? I'll teach you the power of the subconscious mind. So, with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. Peace. I'm out.